I was assigned to discuss from item number 76 to item number 100. So let's start first with item number 75, which is item number 76 rather, which is selective reading technique meant at getting at important facts very fast. So what do you think is the correct answer for this item? So the answer is letter B, scanning. So why letter A, C, and D is not the correct answer? So first, for item number 76, the keyword here is that it is a reading technique in which it has a purpose at getting at important facts very fast. So scanning is the answer, in which why letter A is not the correct answer, because skim reading, the purpose for skim reading is that it gets a general overview, not the specific facts. Whereas letter C, also oral reading, is not the correct answer because it involves reading aloud, not finding facts quickly. As well as the letter D, silent reading, because it is not a specific technique for finding facts. Alright, so let's move on for the next item, number 77. For counseling to be successful, which assumption must be avoided? So what do you think is the correct answer for this item? Alright, so the correct answer is letter D. The counselor tells the student what to do. So why the letter A, B, and C is not the correct answer? Okay, so for item number 77, the keyword here is that what should be avoided during a counseling. So letter D, in which it says that the counselor tells the student what to do. For the options or the choices letter A, B, and C, they are letter A, the environment must provide assurance for confidentiality, in which it is essential for building trust. Letter B, the student is willing to participate in the process, in which it is crucial for effective counseling. And then letter C, the counselor must be able to relate to the student, in which it helps establish a positive relationship. So as you will observe, choices letter A, B, and C, it promotes a positive environment of the counseling towards a specific person or towards an individual. Whereas in letter D, the counselor tells the student what to do. This practice must be avoided by counselor. Alright, so next item, number 78. Which technique is most appropriate when a teacher wants a group to agree on a plan of action? Alright, so what do you think is the correct answer? Yes, it is letter D, consensus decision making. So why letter A, B, and Z is not the correct answer? So the keywords for item number 78 is that teacher wants a group to agree on a plan of action. So the correct answer is letter D, and then letter A is not the correct answer because composite report, it involves combining individual reports, not decision making. And then letter B also is not the correct answer because symposium is a meeting for discussion or presentation, not necessarily for decision making as well. And letter C, agenda, in which it is a list of topics for discussion, not a decision making technique. Alright, so for the next item, number 79. Which term applies to the search for related literature by computer access of databases on disk kept in libraries. So what do you think is the correct answer for this item? Alright, so letter A, online research. So why not letter B, C, and D? So first, let's have the keywords for the letter A. Why is not letter A? Letter B is not the correct answer. Manual research, in which it involves searching manually without computer assistance. Next, letter C. Compact desk computer research. It is close, but compact desk specifically refers to CDs, whereas databases can be accessed through various digital means not limited to CDs. And then letter D, is not the correct answer because computer research is too broad, doesn't specify the use of compact desk. Next item, number 80, which best indicates the effectiveness of classroom activities. So what do you think is the correct answer for this item? Alright, so it is letter B, the application of concept learned in daily life. So why not letter A, C, and D? So letter A, the laughter and enjoyment of students. It is not the correct answer because while it is important for engagement, it doesn't directly measure learning effectiveness. As well as the letter C, the utilization of varied techniques and approaches, in which it is important for teaching but doesn't guarantee learning outcomes. For letter D, the variety of instructional materials used. So, in which it refers to resources, not direct measure of learning effectiveness. Next item, number 81. So, the main purpose of the compulsory study of the Constitution in the Philippines school is to. So, what do you think is the correct answer for this item? Alright, it is letter A. Develop the students into responsible thinking citizens. Why not letter B, C, and D is the correct answer? Alright, so the keywords for the item number 81 is that the main purpose. What is the main purpose of the compulsory study of the Constitution in Philippine school? So the answer, the key purpose is to develop the students into responsible thinking citizens. So for letter B, C, and D, why it is not the correct answer? Because letter B acquaints students without the historical, in which, while history is important, it is not the main purpose development of the Philippine Constitution. Letter C prepares students for law-making, not the primary goal. Civic awareness is the key. And then letter D, make constitutional experts of the students, in which the goal is basic understanding and civic responsibility, not expertise. Alright, so for next item, number 82. Some students who are high in scholastic aptitude tests have failed in college. Some who are below the standards set for admission, but who for various reasons were admitted, attained satisfactory rate standings. So these provide that. So what do you think is the correct answer for this item? Alright, it is letter C. Aptitude tests do not measure all factors important for success. So why not letter A, B, and D? It is because letter A, human beings are certainly predictable. So the scenario shows unpredictability, contradicting the idea that humans are certainly predictable. Letter B, admission tests are not accurate, hence should not be used. While tests may have limitations, the scenario doesn't imply they're entirely inaccurate or should be abolished. Letter C, yeah, the correct answer. And then letter D, the aptitude test can be perfectly relied on. So the scenario directly contradicts this, showing tests aren't perfect predictors for success. Next item, number 83. If the teacher's pattern in questioning consists of calling on the student, then asking the question. So what do you think is the correct answer for this item? Alright, so it is letter D. The rest of the class may not engage themselves in thinking of the answer. So why not letter A, letter B, and letter C? Letter A, all students may be encouraged to participate. So unlikely as only the called student is focused on. Letter B, the student called to answer may be able to think well of his answer. True, but doesn't adjust the rest of the class. Letter C, the rest of the class may just dictate the answer, so not necessarily they might disengage instead. Next item, number 84. In order to avoid disgrace, a pregnant unmarried woman takes drugs to induce abortion. So, is she morally justified to do that? So, what do you think is the answer for this item? It is letter C. No, because the act of inducing abortion is bad in itself. So why not letter A, letter B, and letter D? It is because letter A, yes, it can save her and the child from disgrace when he grows up, but justifies abortion based on social stigma rather than addressing the morality of the act itself. Letter B, no, the unborn child cannot be made to suffer the consequences of the sins of his parents. So it focuses on the child, not directly on the morality of inducing abortion. Letter C, the correct answer, and then letter D, not the correct answer. And no, it is better to prevent the child from coming into the world who will suffer very much due to the absence of a father. So very low, not the answer. Next item, number 85. In which way does heredity affect the development of the learner? So what do you think is the answer for this item? Yes, it is letter A. By placing limits beyond which the learner cannot develop, specifically the maturity and the readiness. So why not letter B, C, and D? It is because letter B, by compensating for what environment fails to develop, in which heredity doesn't directly compensate for environmental factors. Letter C, by blocking the influence of environment, in which heredity interacts with environment, it doesn't block it. Letter D, by providing equal potential to all, in which heredity provides varied potential, not equal ones. Next item, number 86. So, the cultivation of reflective and meditative skills in teaching is an influence of. What do you think is the answer for this item? It is, yes, letter Z, the Zen Buddhism. Why not letter A, B, and C? It is because letter A, Taoism, focuses on harmony with nature, not specifically on reflective or meditative skills in teaching. Letter B, the Shintoism, it emphasizes rituals and worship of kami or the spirits, not particularly the reflective or meditative practices. Letter C, Confucianism. It focuses on ethics, morality, and governance, though it does value self-reflection, it's not as directly linked to meditative practices as Zen Buddhism. Next, item number 87. A child refused to obey orders or displays negativism as a development trait. How may you best handle them? What do you think is the answer for this item? It is letter A. Take every opportunity to praise him for every positive attitude displayed. Why not letter B, C, and D? It is because letter B, detain him after office hours for him to do what he has been ordered to do. So it is a punishment in which punishment can increase negativity and resentment. Letter C, insist on compliance to the same degree required for pupils. So in which it is demanding obedience can make the child more defiant. And then letter D, avoid giving him orders, or if you do, he'll just takes back the orders. In which avoiding giving orders or backing down would teach the child responsibility itself. Next item, number 88, which term refers to the collection of students' product and accomplishment for a period of evaluation purposes. So what do you think is the correct answer for this item? It is letter A, portfolio. So the key words here is that collection of students' product and accomplishment, which is the portfolio. Why not letter B? C is because letter B, observation report. It is a specific report based on observing students' behavior, not a collection of products. Letter C, anecdotal record, in which it is a record of specific incidents or behaviors, not also a collection of products. Letter D, diary. It is a personal log not typically used for formal evaluation. Next item, number 89. For comparing and contrasting, which graphic organizer is most appropriate? So what do you think is the correct answer for this item? It is letter D, the Venn diagram. So the key words for the item number 89 is that a graphic organizer in which the main purpose is for comparing and contrasting. It is the Venn diagram. Why not letter A, cycle? It shows a process or sequence, not comparisons. Letter B, web. It shows relationships or connection but not direct comparisons. Letter C, story map. It organizes narrative elements, not also comparison. Number 90, laging umuukil-kil sa isipan ang nasirang pangako ng anak. So ano kaya ang tamang sagot para sa item number 90? Letter B, bumubulo. Bakit hindi sa letter A, sa letter C, at sa letter D? Sapagkat sa letter A, sumasabi, hindi angkop na gamitin sa konteksto ng pangungusap. Ibig sabihin, ang sumasabi na salita ay hindi naangkop na gamitin para sa konteksto sa nasabing item. Letter C, buhay. Hindi rin angkop na gamitin sa konteksto ng pangungusap. Letter D, pumupudli, hindi rin angkop na gamitin sa konteksto ng pangungusap. Kung saan, ang salita na gumugulo ang pinakaangkop at nararapat na gamitin para sa salitang umuukil-kil, kung saan ang salitang gumugulo ang nararapat na gamitin. Kumbaga, na siya ay mas umaangkop sa konteksto ng pangungusap. Sunod, para sa item number 91, huwag kang maniniwala sa bulaklak ng kanyang matamis na dila. So ano kaya ang tamang sagot para sa item na ito? Letter B. Ito'y pangbobola. Ano kaya ang keyword para sa item na ito? So, ang keyword, bulaklak ng kanyang matamis na dila na ang katumbas ng kahulugan ay pangbobola. Ang tamang sagot ay letter B. Bakit hindi si letter A? Sapagkat ang panunokso hindi eksaktong angkop dahil ang panunokso ay mas nauugnay sa pag-akit o pag-uudyok sa isang bagay na masama. Letter C, pagbibiro. Hindi rin angkop dahil ang pagbibiro ay mas nauugnay sa pagpapatawa o pagkuha ng atensyon sa isang mapang-alin na paraan. Letter D, pagsisinungaling. Hindi rin angkop dahil ang pagsisinungaling ay mas malala kaysa sa konteksto ng bulaklak ng matamis na dila na mas nauugnay sa pagmamalaki o pagpapakita ng kaaya-ayang pananalita. Next, for item number 92. If a resilient child with superior intelligence is reared in a poor environment, the probable outcome would be... Right, so what do you think is the correct answer for this item? Alright, letter B. Slight change in IQ, although he can overcome frustration and obstacle. Why not letter A, letter C, and letter D? Alright, so letter A, no change in IQ because environment deprivation has nothing to do with intelligence. So environment can impact cognitive development and performance even for resilient children. Letter C. Mental retardation in IQ because he is culturally deprived. So this outcome is unlikely. That is because when environment affects IQ, a resilient child with superior intelligence can adapt and find ways to learn. Letter B. Superior intelligence will always prevail. So this is an overstatement. So while innate intelligence is a factor, environment still plays a significant role in shaping outcomes. For item number 93, which of the following is usually considered the most important factor in a child's observable classroom behavior? So what do you think is the correct answer for this item? It is letter C, the self-concept. Why not letter A, B, and D? So first, the keyword is most important factor in a child's observable classroom behavior. It is self-concept. Why not letter A, intelligence doesn't directly determine classroom behavior? Letter B, heredity influences traits but doesn't directly determine classroom behavior. Letter D, cultural background impacts perspective, but self-concept is more directly affects behavior. Next item, number 94. Section 5, Article 14 of the Constitution states that academic freedom shall be enjoyed in... So what do you think is the correct answer for this item? It is letter D, all institutions of higher learning. Why not letter A, B, and C? It is because letter A, public assemblies, and related to academic freedom. Letter B, state colleges and universities, too broad, doesn't specify higher learning. And the letter C, all levels of learning, it is too narrow, doesn't cover all institutions. That's why A, B, and C is not the correct answer. Next item, number 95. A teacher who subscribes to the pragmatic philosophy of education believes that experience should follow learning in her teachings. She therefore exerts effort in. So what do you think is the correct answer for this item? It is letter D, providing learners opportunities to apply theories and principles. Why not letter A, B, and C? So let's see first the keywords for this item. A teacher who subscribes to pragmatic. So when we say pragmatic, it is the practicality approach. So letter A, not the correct answer because encouraging learners to memorize factual knowledge, it contradicts pragmatism. So memorize factual knowledge, it is more on the lower the lower learning, the lower kind of learning that a student might be acquired, and which it contradicts to pragmatism. Letter B, equipping learners with the basic abilities and skills. Yeah, it is important, but pragmatism focuses on applying knowledge in real life situations. So again, letter B isn't the correct answer because there is no application at all in letter B. Letter B, yeah. And the letter C, requiring learners full mastery of the lesson, so it doesn't align with pragmatism. Emphasis on experiential learning. So that is why the correct answer is providing learners opportunity to apply theories and principles. So in letter B, there is application, which contributed to the philosophy of pragmatism. Next item, number 96. Freud expounded that there is a period when young boys experience rivalry with their father for their mother's affection. So this is, what do you think is the correct answer for this item? It is letter A, the Oedipus complex. Why not letter B, C, and D? First, let's see the keywords. The keywords is a period when young boys experience rivalry with their father for their mother's affection. Again, the answer is Oedipus complex. Why not letter B, electrocomplex? Because it is the opposite of the Oedipus complex. Because electrocomplex, it refers to a similar phenomenon in young girls where they experience rivalry with their mother for their father's affection. So the opposite one for the Oedipus complex. Letter C, the Achilles syndrome. It is not a recognized psychological concept related to Freud's theories. So definitely not the answer. Letter B, Cassandra syndrome, also not recognized psychological concept related to Freud's theories, not also the answer. Next item, number 97. So education is a lifelong process. So this study means that education, what do you think is the correct answer for this item? It's letter C. Education is a continuous process of experience and reorganizing experience. And it should be an active process of learning. Why not letter A, B, and D? So letter A may take place formally or informally to enable the individual to grow. So it is true, but doesn't capture the full essence of education being a lifelong process. Letter B may take place anywhere and anytime the individual so desire. It is also true, but it doesn't fully convey the continuous nature of learning. Letter D, take place in a school where the individual is exposed to self-contained experiences. It is too narrow, so as educator occurs beyond formal schooling. Next item, number 98. So the tendency to imitate elders is very strong in the early childhood stage. So the teachers should therefore be very good. So what do you think is the correct answer? Elders should be very good as role models. So why not letter A, C, and D? Letter A, counselors. So while it is important, being a counselor isn't directly related related to the tendency to imitate. Letter C, disciplinarians, focuses on behavior management, not necessarily on being a positive influence. And then the letter D, facilitators of learning, important role. It is an important role, but it doesn't directly address the imitation aspect. Next item, number 99. So, how is Wallace education offered in national secondary education curriculum? So what do you think is the correct answer for this item? It is letter C, integrated in all subject areas. So the Wallace education should be found in all subject areas, either in science, mathematics, Filipino, and so on. So why not letter A, B, and D? It is because letter A emphasizes in science and technology, so it is too narrow, as well as education should be broader. Letter B, as a separate subject. No, because not the approach taken in the curriculum. Next, letter B, integrated with technology and home economics. Too narrow also. So the essence in integrating Wallace education is that it should be in all subject areas, not just in the technology and home economics, not just as a separate subject, and not just emphasizes only in science and technology. It should be integrated in all subject areas. Alright, so the last item, number 100, the NSEC or the National Secondary Education Curriculum orients secondary education too. So what do you think is the correct answer for this item? Letter B. It is letter B. The development of competencies and values for social living. Why not letter A, letter C, and letter D? Because letter A, the teaching of the national symbols, so this is too specific. It doesn't encompass the broader goals of secondary education. Letter C, health values development. While health is an important aspect, it's not the primary focus of insect. Not the primary focus of insect. National development requirements and reflect search-based direction. Although national development is a consideration, this option doesn't fully capture the emphasis on social living competencies and values. So letter B, the primary focus of the INSEC or the National Secondary Education Curriculum is the development of competencies and values for social living.